Welcome back to Newsnight, where we go above and beyond the headlines. Provincial buses with point-to-point routes can now resume operations. But a bus operator group says not all its members can go back on the road because of few passengers. Let's get more about this from Rex Remitio. He joins us live from Cubao in Quezon City. Rex?
Well, we have yet to see a surge in passengers going to provinces or provincial buses waiting for them. Transport regulators have yet to release the implementing guidelines for provincial buses. A while ago, I talked to Alex Yage of the country's Provincial Bus Operators Association, and he's saying that 14 more provincial bus routes will be reopened on top of the 36 that have been operating. These are from Metro Manila to specific towns in Luzon that earlier allowed provincial bus trips. Among them are in Cagayan, Isabela, Nueva Ecija, Bulacan, Pampanga, Laguna, and Batangas. If you're planning to go to any of these areas, you must follow the 7 commandments for commuters. You must wear the proper face mask and shield. You cannot talk nor eat while inside the bus. Bus operators must ensure adequate ventilation as well as frequent and proper disinfection of the bus. Plastic dividers must be put between passengers and make sure none of them has COVID symptoms. Operators assure they're following these guidelines and that their units are in good shape. But before riding the bus, you must first prepare the necessary requirements and documents. You must get a travel pass from the police, a negative test result certificate, and any government ID. Book your ticket 48 hours before the trip and secure an employment certificate if you're going there for work purposes. You also need to sign a waiver stating you're willing to be quarantined if you're found to have signs of COVID-19. Bus operators, however, say the LTFRB's new policy doesn't mean there will be enough trips to these places. The group's president, Alex Yage, says some operators have reduced the number of available buses since there are only a few passengers in some areas. Out of all the bus units operating in 50 routes all over the country, he says only half are having trips.
Very minimal ang buses na nag-ooperate dyan. Siguro less than around 800 buses yan ang affected dyan. And most of them are not operating because yung route na nakuha nila, yung volume ng passengers is still very, very low.
That's why they're appealing to more local governments to allow bus trips from Metro Manila. He's saying that this will prevent passengers from riding illegal colorum vehicles. Back to you.
Government support do these bus operators need?
Well, they're following up on the 6,500 peso subsidy that he says they ought to get from under the Bayanihan 2 or the Bayanihan to Recover as One Act. He's also saying that more local governments between these point-to-point routes should allow them to pick up and drop off passengers. And he's also asking transport regulators to waive for now the supervision and registration fees as well as the premiums for the insurance of passengers. Pia.
Rex Remitio there reporting. The total